Hey guys, so as my days off continue for work, I was playing with the airboats as best as I could. Couldn't get them going. I'm sure if I posted that, you've already seen it. So I'm gonna work on this thing now. As the leaves are broken in the rear on both front or both sides. The front's still going, and I'm just gonna stay that way unless I start breaking leaves up there, and then I'll go 3-link. But I got the 4-link kit for the rear. That's come in from Action Hobby. I was trying to find 80mm shocks and they didn't have any. I was going to order some, but I don't know shocks. I was going to do some research, but then a guy there says just take these and put a spacer inside. So I took two of them apart. These are all off the same truck. Always with the dog here. These are all off the same truck, but the two on the right have a spacer put into inside there. So you just disassemble them, pull that off, pull the shaft out the top, put the spacer on, feed it back through, thread that back on again, and good to go. So I've done that, so I'm going to get onto the 4-link kit, so I'm going to crack open some bags and maybe do a quick little read and see what all I got to do, and we'll keep you informed of what's going on. Right, so here's your meat and potatoes of it. You get that bar that's going to go over top of the rear axle with those two other pieces. It gets bolted on like so. Get new shock hoops. Those are the pieces that are going to go onto the axle. You get two of those. There's your links. That's the bar that goes across the top, and then this little guy goes onto the back of the axle, onto the back of that thing, and that's where your links are going to go onto. So I got some crap to get rid of. Let me take some stuff off and I'll get right back on there. Just plugging away. It's tedious work. Shock hoops changed. All the old stuff taken off. There's all the old shocks and the broken stuff and the links and jazz, and all these need to be put together, so those threaded together. There's thread lock in there. I actually got shock oil in the shocks on those. I know it won't last long. The 4-link bar, all those screws that cross through, blah blah blah. Putting in upgraded screws as I go, because I've been told that the RC 4-wheel drive ones are poo, so I'm changing those out as much as I can. Excuse me. Well, yeah, tedious little job here. It's been taking me about an hour just to get this far, and it's like I've been working solid and really surprised actually. But plug away. Almost got it on. Hopefully the stance is close. We're almost there. Alright, get her in. Alright, we got her now. Well, it's straighter anyways. It's not the perfect pitch, but we can always play with that. Now that there's 4-link, I can put spacers in if I want to. So 4-link onto the plate on the bottom, then the 3-link goes into the holes right in front of where the shackles were. And I'll throw the body on her now and see how square she is, and then we'll test her for flex. She's pretty high up there now. And I put some bigger spacers in the front, like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, or something like that. And when I put the body on, in the rear, I got the springs backed off as much as we can. And may need something softer back there. We'll see. There's still the overload spring that I can get rid of too back there. But that's it. That's for the 4-link kit. All in all, I think it's about just under 70 bucks Canadian. I got it from Action Hobby here in town. And yeah, the next trail run, this thing's going out again. Okay, still messing with this guy. Oh, of course, I get a text message the second I hit the record button. Alright. T-Rex is on his way over. Excellent. Yeah, so this thing back on the bench. Or still on the bench. It's been a couple days. I was tired and weary in the beginning part of this video, I guess you could say. I'll probably make one video out of it because it's just a quick explanation and build and adjustment and blah blah blah. So anyways, my mirrors came in from Action Hobby. I gotta tighten those up a bit. They're just held in. There's a rubber doohickey, much like that, on the back of the mirror with a body clip that goes through it and just holds it in place there. It just doesn't do a very good job, but they're rubber, so yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just threw out the packaging too. Part number is like ZB0084, I think, something like that. They're the rubber mirrors for the Mojave 2. They work good on this, and I also got another set for my Hilux body over there somewhere. Excuse me, bug in my throat. Or I believe that'd be frog in my throat. Alright, so a couple guys are talking about the pitch of the angle and the pictures on Instagram. It's stock. I know that it's not sitting level, but it's supposed to be like that, apparently. But I could always throw a couple spacers in the upper links and stretch it out a bit. I got to make sure I don't mess up the body line too much, you know. But it's still too much in the back, so I got two ideas. One, I could remove the overload spring on the rear. Excuse me. Still pretty tight, and it's open all the way, so I was thinking I could either do that, or the 4-link kit came with different shock hoops, and the shock hoops, the stock ones, that's the right one too. I'll flip it this way. They're just a little bit taller. So that might work as well, right? Because that would bring the point of the shock up a bit and drop the rear. So I'm going to mess around with that here just for a bit and see if I can't get the Jeep more level. Because even mine, I have an XJ. Excuse me, in stock. The front end is a little bit higher than the rear. But then again, the rear springs are 320-some thousand kilometers old. Anywho, time to tinker. I get this thing a little more level. And yeah, maybe get it out for a test run in the yard. Maybe. Okay, I haven't dropped the other side yet. I just did this side, but it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I gotta fix that mirror. It's driving me nuts. I got to, or I think that looks good. It's pretty level. It's decent. It's not bad, but yeah, I think I can move that rear axle back a smidgen. So I'm gonna extend the top links just a bit, and we'll bring that pitch up on that drive shaft a little bit. The front seems okay. A little bit of a flat tire there, but this truck's pretty heavy. All right, almost close to being runnable. Okay, so with axial SCX10 shocks in there with the little 10 or 12 mil spacer I put in on the interior to extend the limit. Measures at about 83 mil. Could have been a little shorter, so I put the stock shock hoops back in it. Brings it up a bit, lowered the back a bit. I think it looks good. I think it sits all right. Kind of looks weird having rear links on there without the front links on the bottom skid plate, but oh well. It might change in the future. And I put spacers. I can take this off now, I guess. Oh, and I got the rubber mirrors on there. I don't know if I talked about it yet, but I got to tighten those up so they quit flopping around so much. I got the, the original shock hoops are back on it. SCX10 shocks, the 4 links. And I put just a little nut. Oh, it's not very bright. Never bright, is it? Hopefully bright enough. But there's 2 little spacers in there. Just nuts out of a screw kit to space it out a bit. So it helps the pitch of that yoke, or whatever the output of the rear diff. Should be a little better, but man, I think it looks great. I can't wait to get it back out again. This thing should be running good again. I don't think it needs anything else now. It's still a fairly new truck, but as you guys know, I like to beat on my stuff. Not waterproof anymore, kind of just splash proof with the BEC in there. Nervous about it, of course. Alright, that's about it for the 4-link conversion. Maybe 3-link one day, but I still really like the looks of the springs in the front, so I'm going to try and keep them in there as long as I can. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. You have a great day.